Good morning. My name is David Madrigal. I'm with Visa Solutions, and today I have the great pleasure to have David with me as well. He's one of our customers, and we're going to be talking about his experience with Visa Solutions, with the drivers, international drivers. So let's go ahead and start. Thank you for being here with us, David. I really appreciate that.
Okay, well, thank you, David. It's my pleasure to be a part of this effort. Something new. It's a new tool that the Visa Solutions is working on to help, clarify things with all your existing drivers that are going to be placed and recruits going forward. So it's my pleasure.
Okay, perfect. So, David, I want to start with if you can let us know how originally were you interested on joining this program with bringing international drivers to your company?
Okay, a little bit of history here, but our effort to actually look for qualified, skilled, good drivers that will go over the road, what goes all the way back to the middle of 2017. I personally have experience in international business, so what I did is I launched an effort with an immigration firm in Lincoln, Nebraska, to actually see if they could help us locate some drivers around the world, or not really locate them, but I had the location already set. It was going to be in Eastern Europe. I have business contacts there. I'd already discussed it with them. They were going to help me on that end. I needed help on this end to work through the bureaucratic immigration process. And so in July of 2017, I met with them. We started at lots of paperwork, meetings, things that we had to do. And then we waited. I mean, it took a long time, but and it was an H-2B program, which, okay, later on we found that was not really the right way to go, but that we didn't know any better, and that's what we were doing. But anyway, we found out in the end that we were denied, and they had numerous reasons why we were denied. It was very overwhelming. And I read through them all, and then I got back with this immigration firm, and I said, hey, what can we do? They said you can contest it. But they said, quite honestly, there's so many denials and it's going to be so bureaucratic that it's not worth your time and money. And so we decided to pull the plug, if you will, pull the plug on that effort. It was a good try. We thought it had good merit, but it failed. So anyway, that's how it all started, the wild idea about getting some help from around the world to help our business. And if I looked it up, it was let me think here, August 2018. So it was more than a year later, a phone call came in, and a colleague of mine who worked in the safety department and recruiting fielded the call because this was recruiting in nature. And it was from Visa Solutions. It was from Jose. And our guy immediately, I mean, this has been over a year, but he remembered that, this sounds like the thing that David was working on. So he passed the call over to me, and I took that call, introduced myself, Jose likewise, and we just started talking. I think we were on the phone for an hour, and it was a great conversation. And 2 weeks later, I was on a plane to get down to Houston to meet Jose and to learn more about how this is going to work. And that's when we learned that H-2B versus the EB3 and all of this good stuff, lots of differences. I learned a lot about Visa Solutions, and in short, because I could talk forever, in short, I really liked what I heard, what I saw. I liked Jose. I took the message back. I met with the owner of the company, and it didn't take long. We're not a very vertically aligned or bureaucratic company. A decision was made quickly. Let's move forward. And so I got back with Visa Solutions and told them, we worked out details, got an agreement. We signed the agreement, I believe it was in October 2018. And the very detailed effort was launched to find a bunch of drivers and interview them, screen them, etc. And here we are now. Unfortunately, COVID, the pandemic has set us back. We haven't received as many as we want, but that'll get behind us going next year. So
you mentioned that you already have some drivers. David, what are your plans with all these drivers that you're going to be receiving and you already have?
yeah, we're a company that's in the neighborhood of a couple hundred drivers, and we're over the road. We're long distance, and we're dry van, and we serve most of the country. But we also have a need for drivers that will do what we call regional or shag work, because they will go, if I can use the word fetch, they will go fetch the loaded trailers or drop unloaded trailers so that our shippers can load them. And they'll bring those loaded trailers into our yard here and into our yard in Twin Falls, Idaho, and then also many drop yards that we have throughout the country. So they are actually working every day from early morning until late in the day to position these trailers so that our over-the-road drivers can come in, hook up, and pull. They don't touch the freight. They do what we say, just drop and hook and go. And so we've got so much business that we're handling, and more that we could take on if we could only find drivers. And so in nature, that's the type of drivers that we're looking for. And the drivers that are signed up in the Visa Solutions program, they are going to be people, they are going to be tagged to be long distance over the road drivers. So, and so far we've got a few, like you said, David, and that's what they're doing. And in short order, in a matter of 4 months, one of those drivers is already our number 2 best driver for the month of October. So they are proving themselves very roadworthy, no pun intended, but roadworthy of doing the job that we want them to do.
Wow, that's amazing news, David. Thank you for sharing. And actually, you were already. That was my next comment to you, that
Jumped into it, I guess.
you already have the experience of receiving some drivers. So can you share with us? I mean, so far, how has been your experience? I will share something with the people here that you drove more than 12 hours from your company to Texas to pick your drivers and then driving back to your company. That was a very nice act from you, and so you really take care of them.
Yeah. I'll tell you, David, it's just been more than we expected, better than we expected. You never know, especially anytime you do something new. How's it really going to go? The three guys that we received initially, like you said, I drove down to Houston. I just thought at that time that's a great way during the pandemic. Go down there, receive them, come back. I gave them each a chance to drive. Okay, it was just a pickup. It wasn't a semi, but I gave them a chance to drive a pickup. That was actually a great experience, one that I'll have forever. And likewise, I believe they will. That was quite a trip that we had coming back to Nebraska from Houston. But anyway, we received those initial 3 guys, and then we just launched an effort, kind of step by step, in how we're going to receive them, get them into an apartment, get them registered at the apartment, so then we can go to the DMV. We actually took them into the office. We ordered something, from like eBay on their behalf using their credit card, so that we would receive it, because these are some of the little things that your DMV will need to show proof of residence. And so we would march around to do all of that stuff, go to the DMV. Of course, they had learner's permits, but they needed the CDL, so they were tested. The same day we went there, they tested. And I remember 2 out of the 3 passed everything day one. One missed just a few too many questions on one of the tests. It's a 3-part, but the very next day he passed that. So we've actually gotten compliments from our DMV that these are some of the smartest guys that come and go. I mean, one of the drivers said, "Well, that's because we study hard, and this is important to us." And the DMV person said, "Well, so does every other driver." Every other driver says the same thing. So what I'm getting at is that they set themselves apart from others because they're working so hard.
And I'm going to make you a double-side question. So what do you think are, for them, for the international drivers, the main benefits of having the opportunity to immigrate to the United States and come here and work for a company like yours? And then simultaneously, what do you think are the main advantages for your company of receiving these international drivers?
Okay, so if I understand right, it's almost like from the perspective of the drivers, what are some of the advantages or benefits they're getting out of it? Okay, and then likewise, just from a company
Yeah,
perspective, where
that's
how we're
correct.
positioned. Okay, I'll take on the company's position first. But so the company, I over time I've adopted the saying that the first thing that is important to us in receiving them and getting them going, making sure that they're successful, they're happy, and all these things. Because when they're happy, they're successful, and vice versa. They kind of work together. Is stability. It's stability for our company, because in the trucking industry, I believe we've all experienced the difficulties in getting drivers and retaining drivers. It's just been a carousel for a long time in our country, maybe more than a decade. And then once we reach stability, and it really won't take long to get to that point, we feel good about the stableness within our company. Then it's all about growth. And there's huge growth opportunities in our business. And if we get the stability and then start targeting growth, then we will take on more business, more loads, more lanes. And then we'll have more drivers to serve all of this. And it's like every day, it's like putting a puzzle together in this business. You've got to match it all up. And but if we got the resources, including these drivers, then we'll be able to do it. So I like to think stability, that then will lead us into growth opportunities.
Perfect. That makes a lot of sense, David.
Now, from the drivers' perspectives, I'd say that one thing that kind of helps me understand them a little bit more as well is that I actually had a 25-year, or maybe even more than that. I've lost track of the years and the dates and all that stuff, but years of experience in international business. So I traveled many, many countries over those years, and I came to understand people around the world and the cultures and things that would maybe make us different, but also things that make us very much in common. I mean, people all over the world, they're looking for the same things. You know, they want to be happy. A man wants to find a woman and get married, and they want to love each other. They want to have a family. They want to feed them. They want to see that they're educated. They want to see that they can put a roof over their heads, and they want good lives. They're just looking for good lives. And in my talks with our first few people, I found that that's right there close to their heart. They are doing this. Of course, they're doing it for themselves, but they're doing it for their families more than they're doing it for themselves. They're here with the belief that they're going to give their families, their children, a better life, and they can. To do that, it's like you need a job that's going to pay you well, pay you fair, and when that happens, then these things that are important to us are also important to them. Then it's all there for their pleasures. Yeah.
And finally, David, I don't know if you want to share some anecdotes or interesting thing that happened to you. I know that you spend a lot of time with these drivers, and not only the Visa Solution, but all your drivers in your company. Mm-hmm. I know that you are a very caring person. So, is there any anecdote that you would like to share with us for this interview?
Yeah. I maybe what I can do is share with you a little bit of an approach that I take with these guys. These guys are a little different than our other drivers, but you're absolutely right that it doesn't matter which driver. Whenever they swing by and everything, I mean, if they got a question, they want to talk, doors wide open. They got a problem, we sit and we talk about it. With the Visa Solutions drivers, I've actually taken on a driver management personal approach to these guys because they don't know everything about our company or our country and business and everything. So every step of the way is a teaching moment, if you will. I have many teaching moments, but what I'll do is I'll use them, as I say, teaching moments to all of them. And I think they appreciate it because it helps them grow in their understanding of everything that you have to be aware of in driving in this country. The second thing that I wanted to share with you, and I already alluded to it in the very beginning, is it's simply amazing To think that in no matter of 4 or 5 months, I think it was in July when I came down and met the first 3 drivers, and we drove back, and then we received them and we marched them through the system. And they honestly, they were doing so well that they became solo drivers, and I can't remember, but 30, 45 days. We're not bureaucratic. If they prove themselves, we feel good, they feel good, we'll release them. Of course, we release them in controllable ways, but in no time at all, one of your drivers, one of these Visa Solutions drivers, rose all the way to the top of all of our drivers in 1 month. It's only 1 month, but he has the opportunity to do it month and month after month, and he can. And the other 2 drivers, by the way, they didn't make the top 5, but they were right there. They were right there, and so it's just great to see. I think I said that it's better than we expected, and of course we'll keep our hands on everything because you can't ever breathe easy. It's working for them. It's working for us.
Perfect. David, I really appreciate all your communication or your words or your thoughts. It's been an amazing conversation. Thank you very much for being with us, for being our customer, and for being such a careful, caring person with all the drivers.
Okay, hey, thank you. Like I said in the beginning, it's my pleasure, and I say it's my pleasure, and it's also a pleasure to work with you. I find working with you is a breeze. I like it.
Thank you very much, David.
Hey, you're welcome, Dave.